Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends. We're going to be talking about balancing Banner Lord's legendaries and how easy it would be just to balance champions in the game to make them at least playable, or at least when somebody pulls a champion, they feel really good about getting that legendary champion. Now, we're only going to be talking about Banner Lord legendary champions and how players should just go in there and just revamp all legendary champions right now as fast as possible. And if there's an issue with doing that, they should take care of that issue right away and make sure that they can always balance champions on the fly very easily, get it out there for us, because it was a big summoning weekend. A lot of people pulled a lot of champions. I got Lord Chamfer right here. Verdi actually pulled this for me, along with some other amazing champions that I'm not going to talk about till we put out a video. But right now, we're just going to talk about each of these really quickly. We're going to reference some other champions in the game, and we're going to talk about how easy it would be to make them at least viable for now, or better, and not have to really go, we don't have to reinvent them. We don't have to go back, change their abilities completely, or do anything crazy with it. All right, we'll start off with Lord Chamfort. So I just got Lord Chamfort recently. Actually looks like a really cool champion. Has this huge shield, this huge halberd, and he does damage based off of attack. But has an extra 15% chance to critical hit. Now, also, right now you're thinking, these people can do damage. You're like, oh, I've seen Lord Chamfort do a crazy amount of damage. That's fine. Everybody out there can do damage. Really, I promise you. All these champions out there that have, well, except for like Jack maybe, Harvest Jack, most of them have really high multipliers and they can do really well with damage, right? When we set them up with damage, we give them all the critical damage, 100% crit rate, and bam, they can do damage. That's not in question. What we're questioning is, why would we use them over other champions? Why would we use them over somebody, even epics that we have that are really good? And why they're not used at all. Okay, that's the main reason. I mean, this is why they are not used, because of the issues that we're going to discuss and how easily it would be to change that for now. I'm not talking about, this is it, finalized. I'm talking about do a full sweep of all these champions, make them viable, playable, and then, of course, over time, when you come out with these small monthly balancing, that they get changed then, right? That they get changed to an even better version. So first we're going to start with Lord Chamfort. Has a 15% additional critical hit. Damage based off of attack. Here's the big issue with Chamfort that I think. Attacks all enemies, places the decreased accuracy and the decreased attack. This would actually be really good in play in PvP, in Arena. The 50% decreased accuracy would be huge in Arena now with resistance, and everybody trying to apply all sorts of debuffs, and the decreased attack along with that would be really good. 3-turn cooldown. Not bad at all. I'm sure it's based off attack. I don't even see here. This is only showing me attack, so I assume the rest of them are as well. Place a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns. At the start of each turn, will place a 15% decreased speed debuff for 1 turn whenever the champion destroys this shield, which is kind of weird. And then the value of the shield is proportionate to this champion's max HP. Now, he's got good stats, right? He's got good stats on everything. But with this passive being based off of his max HP, all his abilities should be based off of his max HP. So all we got to do is make sure this guy has multipliers like Sir Nick, right? We're going to use him as the baseline. Sir Nick hits crazy hard and has stupid control and utility. He has all that, and he hits crazy hard. I wouldn't even be surprised if Sir Nick's A1 hits just as hard as Mountain King's A1 multiplier wise, based off of HP, which is pretty insane. So if this guy was based off of HP and had the same multipliers, based off of HP, 3-turn cooldown, AoE, single target, 15% additional crit, and then got this shield up, and I do believe this shield, I would say that this shield should be placed to like a 50% chance when attacked to place this decreased speed. Plus, it's the lower version of decreased speed. It's not even the 30%. So on top of that, it needs to be increased to 30%, and then has a 50% chance to apply that to an attacker, anybody who attacks him. That makes much more sense to me than somebody breaking it. Way more sense, especially to the way these champions are. Because remember, a lot of these champions we're talking about right now are old school champions. They were made a long time ago. The game has changed a lot. And we're about to see that with Satalia, with the people I'm going to reference against her. And it's going to be pretty amazing. So that's all we need to do. So Lord Chamfort, damage based off of HP. Damage based off of HP, we give him high HP. His shield's going to be great. Anytime you attack him, 50% chance when you attack to get a 30% decreased speed debuff on you, and we're good to go. We don't even need to change any of these stats down here. Lord Chamfort is now, I think, pretty viable for the game. Okay, we're at Satalia already. I have 2 of her, and I leveled her up hoping that the balance would do something for her. The balance did nothing for her. Nobody wants to play her whatsoever. Here is my thing on her. She has an ability that heals 1 champion, 1 ally, 75% of their max HP, and then places block debuffs. I'm not even going to mention this other stuff. This other stuff they added is just like cuckoo, bananas. I don't even know why they put this in here. It makes you more mad than it does like, hey, she got something new, you should be happy. It doesn't. It just makes you even madder that she's just terrible. So we're going to ignore this, and we're just going to say that healing one person for a legendary, even at 75% max HP, and then putting block debuffs, just one, is very, very sad. Like, super sad. And then she's got this attack. Leech is very lackluster in this game. We don't really use Leech for a lot of things, and it's just not really viable for a lot of things. It's okay. It's very minute. It's not the greatest thing in the world to have, and an HP burn on a skill 1 is fine. I don't mind this. I do, it's still, with everything else, it makes her very sad. Now, we're going to go over and reference Smash Lord, Skartosis, and Lilitu. Duchess Lilitu. So, Undead Skartosis here. Skartosis can remove all debuffs from all allies, heal all allies, and fill their turn meter based on the amount of debuffs that he removes. It's actually really, really strong. It's a great ability. It's on a 4-turn cooldown once you have it maxed out. There we go, Skartosis. He also has an AoE on a skill 1. Does a lot of other... He's a strong champion, right? There's no doubt in that. We all know Skartosis is a very strong champion. We're going to go to Skinwalker, Smash Lord, right here. He can remove all debuffs from all allies, then heals them by 50% of this champion's, his max HP, and then heals each ally by an additional 10% of their of this champion's max HP for each debuff removed, and then places a block debuffs buff for 2 turns. So on a 4-turn cooldown. So kind of like what she does, right? She places the block, she heals them for 75%, and this guy actually removes as well. This guy is way better. I like this utility much better, and he does it for the whole entire team. The whole entire team. Okay, now we're going to go over to an even crazier one. We're going to go to Duchess Lilitu, who is a demon spawn. Right here, I just got her this weekend. I can't wait to see my summoning video. I know, just wait. You're going to see. So she does, okay, on her skill 3, revives all dead allies 70% HP. She's only, Satalia is healing one person for 70% of their HP. And then she places a veil buff on all allies except this champion and continuous heal buff for 2 turns on all champions on a 4-turn cooldown. That's insane. So when I go back and I say Satalia should be changed to heal everybody, the whole team, for 75% of their max HP and get a block debuffs and just scrap the rest of this junk, then it's warranted. Sure, it shouldn't be on a 2-turn cooldown. A 3-turn cooldown is fine. 3-turn cooldown, and I only say that because she's got nothing out. Those other people that we just saw, they have a lot else going for them. They really do. Lilitu has other abilities that are great and a passive that's insane. Smash Lord has a stun on a skill 1 along with other skills that he can sacrifice his HP. And we got Skartosis with an AoE skill 1 that can do, I mean, he's pretty dirty. You put him in provoke artifacts, get him a counterattack on him, and he can just do crazy work. So being that she has this, if she had this on a 3-turn cooldown, heal everybody for 75% of their HP and put a block debuff buff for 2 turns, on a 3-turn cooldown once maxed out, then that would be pretty exciting. And we wouldn't even have to worry about changing this up. Sure, she can do a burn, and then whatever with this, I would still like to change this. I'd like to change this attack 3 times at random and does something else. Does something totally different. Decrease attack even, 50% decrease attack. Decrease defense if you want to get dirty about it and give her a heal and decrease defense, sure. But not Leech. Something else, and then this champion is going to be a fun champion. A great fun champion, a great support champion like she's supposed to be. She has good stats. Everything else about her is fine. We would just be changing this up and not making it a 2-turn cooldown. We'd at least make it a 3-turn cooldown with it doing what we're talking about doing. Boom. Satalia is now playable. And we're not having to go reinvent. Like, I'm not trying to go here and just say, hey, we're changing up exactly how these skills function. We're just trying to use what we have with them and make them so people want to use them when they pull a legendary. Because we just had a big, 2-time sacred summon this weekend. I'm sure there were a lot of Banner Lords pulled and a lot of people that weren't super happy about it. So we're going to go on to Black Knight now. Black Knight, again, look at his stats. Incredible stats. But his damage is based off of attack, and he provokes people. So places a provoke debuff for 1 turn if this attack is critical, based off of attack, right? So you're going to make an attack-heavy person, somebody based off of attack, and you're going to make them provoke. That's not a good thing to me. That is never a good thing because they're not going to be the most sturdy champion out there. Also, he places a continuous heal buff and a 30% increased defense buff on all allies on a 2-turn cooldown. Now, this is on a 2-turn cooldown. I do want to bring this up to 60%, of course, but I do want to increase the cooldown by one more. 3-turn cooldown, you get this all for 2 turns, like a normal legendary would be. Still, 3-turn is low. It's up there for 2 turns. It's only 1 turn it down. There's ways to get that down easy. There's ways to outspeed easy, so it can always be up. We don't have a problem with that. It does need to be 60%. We've said that forever. We understand that. Attacks all enemies, damage increased according to the amount of HP this champion has lost. Okay. To the amount of HP this champion has lost. We get that it's a percentage based, so he doesn't have to have high HP to be able to do more damage. It's just a percentage of, hey, are you down to 30% HP? Now you're going to do more damage, a lot more damage. Are you down to 5% HP? You're going to do a lot more damage. I get that. But this guy right here does do an unkillable buff when he takes, exceeds 30% of his max HP in one attack. I get that as well. So it's easier for him to get this threshold when he doesn't have a lot of HP. But still, there are tons of things out there in anything that we run right now and Arena that can hit you for 30% HP no matter what. They just can hit you for that. So it doesn't matter if he's fragile or not. This guy needs to be the same way. Based off of HP, you don't need to change his stats. He's already supporting what we're talking about. And everything else is fantastic. We don't need to change anything else about him. So we're just going to go in here based off of HP, make him hit like Sir Nick, of course. That's our baseline. Sir Nick is our baseline for damage-based champions. Damage-based HP champions. And that's what he needs to be. I mean, that's what they need to be. And that's where it's at. That's what it should be. And then we're going to give him a 60% increased defense on this. So he's going to help out the team. He's going to heal. He's going to do cool heals. He's going to do great defense. Then on top of that, he's going to do damage based off of HP. He's going to provoke you, which he should. He should provoke you. That'd be great. He's going to have high HP now. He's going to have a good shield up. And if it was too much all around because he does damage like Sir Nick, then put this on a 2-turn for a 4-turn cooldown max, right? That's fine as well. And then he does an AoE, damage increase according to the amount of HP lost. Now it makes total sense. It makes total sense. We just fixed Black Knight to be, I bet he's going to be pretty amazing then. I bet he's going to be really amazing and be used in a lot of things in the game. Really. So that's Black Knight. We're going to go to Lugan the Steadfast. Now, he was changed recently. The skill 1 was changed. I don't have him, so I can't talk about it. But he is HP right here. He does damage based off of HP. That's great. He's got good stats. But now we go over here to skill 3. Attacks all enemies. Block cooldown skills. Another great ability. Like, very powerful ability based off of attack. What is that about? I don't know. But that needs to be changed as well. So, only thing we need to do with him, I feel like this ability is still good. I've seen people play him. I think this ability is actually really good. I like everything it can do. It's a very strong one. Heals all allies by 25% of the damage inflicted. And then he gets a shield on himself. The damage is based off of his max HP. Fantastic. Then he's got a buff that does a 60% increased defense. Buffs all champions for 3 turns. And then he does the ally protect. So he's a carry. It's on a 4-turn cooldown maxed out. We don't even need to touch this. This is golden. I love it. Max HP. And then this one, though, and this ability is very strong. Block skill cooldowns on a 4-turn cooldown, a 100% chance to apply. This just needs to be changed to HP. I think that's really all we need to do with him. That's it. Change this to HP, and of course he needs to hit like Sir Nick, like we've been saying. I know I sound like a broken record, but they really do. They really need to hit like that. Otherwise, we need to bring him down to where everybody else is. Either they need to bring these kind of champions that based off HP up to Sir Nick, or they need to bring Sir Nick down, and we need to get everybody on the same playing field because it's not right. It's just not the way to balance a game. It's just not. So then we're good with him. So I think Lugan would be good then. Let me know your thoughts on him. I know there are a lot of people that have him out here. Septimus, Bannerlords. I actually have Septimus. We can see him right here. Boom. Septimus, and I've got Richtoff. Septimus is a hard one to love. I don't know. He's got really cool stuff. Back in the day, even if you take him into keeps 15, yeah, you get somebody weak, and then he keeps killing them and hits the next person, You go in arena, you get the whole other team, you hit them with AoEs, you get them weak, and then he comes in and hits kills. Not really today. Not in today's standards. Not with things you do. You could still use this in 15 keeps. You could still use this in minnow 15, sure. But anything else, it's not really there. And this ability is nice, but it should probably just be off of enemy max HP total, so it can hit harder, not off of attack as well. And it's great that it ignores here, but I really feel like, and now this might sound crazy to you, but I don't think it is. This can reset this. The A1 when you kill somebody can reset this ability. That's good. Now his passive is pretty cool too. I'm going to tell you, hold on. Each attack has a 30% chance to increase the duration of all debuffs, and then damage inflicted by each attack increases by 30% if the enemy's current HP is over 50%. That sounds pretty interesting, but you don't really get to see it shine that much. What I do want from him is to be like Royal Guard. I want this to be an AoE on a 4-turn cooldown. Now that's not crazy because Royal Guard is an AoE on a 4-turn cooldown. Husk is an AoE, based off enemy max HP and attack on a 4-turn cooldown and can stun. Husk has a really good taunt on a skill 1. Royal Guard decreases defense on a skill 1. Also has amazing skill 3 skill. Husk skill 3 isn't that amazing, but you get where I'm going with this, right? So in any instance outside of clan boss to do debuffs, you would rather have a Royal Guard than a legendary that basically kind of does the same thing, but not really. So in those instances, just in general with this guy, I really feel that this skill is fine. He can be based off of attack. They could up his HP a little bit, right? They could up his HP, but let's say we keep his HP down because he's gonna be a monster. Okay, fine. We'll keep his HP down. This is gonna be now an AoE. It can reset whenever he kills somebody. And this right here for the increased duration of debuffs, I think that needs to be brought up a little bit. It's too random. It is way too random. Vizier can do it craziness. We've got who else do we have out there? We have Bulwark, a rare that can do it when he's hit. And then the other main one is Warlord. So Warlord can do it as well, but Warlord's got way more going for him than Septimus has. Like way more going for him than Septimus. I get it. So for Septimus, we bring this to an AoE. That's not that difficult to program. I'm sure they can do it. They can do this. We don't touch anything else. And we bring this percentage up to 40 or 50. I mean, Vizier's going crazy, so why not? Bring this up to 40 or 50. Let this dude, Septimus, be a little bit more, a little bit more stable when you do clan boss runs instead of so much randomness, right? Just too much randomness. So I think that fixes Septimus. Septimus would be awesome. We'd be using him in dungeon runs. I'd be using him in like an Ice Golem dungeon run, spiders, because this is going to be AoE. We'd be using him in clear waves we'd be using him like we do Royal Guard and everything else. We'd be using him to clear those waves, and he'd be doing some work. And people would be using him, and they'd be happy to get this champion. That's what it's all about. Everybody being satisfied to pull champions and get champions. Okay, we're on Richtof, and then these two, it's going to be quick. Don't worry. So Richtof the Bold. I don't even get this guy. Like, I don't even know what. He looks cool. He looks like he should be back there. Pew, pew. No problem. Light you up. This decrease enemy max HP doesn't have a lot of play in this game. It really doesn't. You're not gonna fight down a Mountain King in arena and slowly decrease his HP and then win it out. Can you? Yeah, you could do a big hit that takes down the Mountain King's max HP by like 30% of the damage done, and that's going to lower his max HP, so that's going to make the Mountain King do less damage to you, right? We understand that. So that's the way you can kind of make max HP champions do less damage to you. But at 10% on an AoE, this doesn't really do anything for anybody. I think they could really rework this to something else, and we'll leave him in attack. He's in attack base, and look, he's got great HP to go with his stuff. This one is really mind-boggling. Attacks one enemy 3 times and then places the 5% poison. You know who else can do this? Kale. Kale can do this on a skill 4. He has the ability to do 4 even if he gets lucky with RNG to place 5% poisons on a 4-turn cooldown for Kale. Athar can place poisons. Okay, these can't be removed. Who cares? Where is it being removed anyways? This is a like... Who came up with this ability? I have no idea. But this needs to go, or it needs to be AoE, or it just needs to be reworked. Now, this is one champion that I'm going to say could use a total rework, because I don't know. I haven't thought of any like ways to say, okay, this is how Richtof would be amazing, because I didn't want to go reinvent these champions. I wanted to use what they have and just try to make them better now so that we could use them and they'd be viable. And then later on, months down the line, as they're slowly churning out all these other balances, we get back to these champions if we need to make them stronger. And plus, then by then, people play tested, and you'll get more feedback to say, hey, this was great. We love it. Maybe one's too overpowered now. Maybe, whatever else. We'll find out. But we'll have fun doing it because we'll have all these nice changes. This guy, though, I don't even have words. This also, attack one enemy and copy one random debuff on the target and place it on all enemies. You know who else does this? Vizier. Vizier does this on a skill 3 and copies 2 and places them on all other enemies. So, and even with the Vizier, it's not that amazing. Like, okay, you could do it with Provoke. You could do it with Stun. That would be pretty cool. Or with a Freeze. Yeah, spreading that out to everybody else would be kind of interesting, but not really the greatest thing in the game and pretty hard setup. It could be, it just depends. Not really the easiest thing to do, and not really viable in a lot of things because you're running auto most of the time. You're just trying to get through it. So, I don't know. You let me know. What would you do with Richtof to make him better? What would you do to make this guy viable? And again, remember, we know they can all do damage. Everybody can do damage. If we set them up that way, they can all do amazing amount of damage, unless it's the pumpkin guy where we've already seen that for some reason he has no way to do damage, or not a lot anyways. Slow burn, right? He's just like the big bruiser. So Raglan. She was changed recently and updated. and there's nothing to say about her. She is just completely amazing. 2-turn cooldown, resurrection, fills the turn meter. It's crazy. This, removes all debuffs, heals all allies, and heals them by a lot. Like, her attack doesn't even have to be insane. She heals a lot. This ability to increase the turn meter is insane. So nothing needs to be changed about Raglan. She is number 1. Fantastic. We've got Baron. Baron is great, right? He can do the damage. It's just RNG. So I don't know what to be said about RNG. You kind of got to be careful with RNG. You can't make it too strong, because if you increase these percentages too much and he starts just popping off with this all the time, then he's broken. Then he's way broken. Then it's like, oh, we're fighting Baron. Boom, AoE, pure damage, everything. Like waves, people, doesn't matter. Dragons, he's just, slice them all up. So I don't know how to balance RNG. You guys let me know how Baron has been doing in the game. If you think, because out of all these, obviously Raglan and Baron are the least to worry about, I think. I think they are okay for now, and everything I said about these guys could be changed, and that way we could get some good Banner Lords. Of course, we need work on all the other Banner Lords, no doubt, but let's work on the Legendaries first, because I'm sure a lot of people pulled a lot of Legendaries this weekend. I hope you all had the best of luck with Legendaries this weekend. Please let me know your thoughts on rebalancing Banner Lords. If you like a video like this and you want to talk about other videos or other balancing of Legendary Champions, please let me know in the comments. And I thank you all for the support, and I will see you all in a video soon.